Hello everyone, how are you? Hope all is well with you all and you and your family are doing okay. Pay attention to your surroundings and especially the people who are surrounding you. Bear in mind that you see a man's face, you don't see him heart. People, they will switch up on you at any time. So guys, it is never welcoming to hear when someone loses their life because life is a special gift. But when it is someone who enjoys creating chaos and mayhem in other people's lives and they enjoy also taking other people's life, we simply are only humans. We are looking forward for their downfall, their karma. Worse, when they are taken out by law enforcement officers, we just know it's karma being speed up manually. One less come on the hurt to worry about. So, let me get into the sauce. Guys, you remember social media influencer Slickiana that was taken out in 2022? Her government name was Anika Townsend. So, this bloke who took her out was Rushawn Patterson. He had met her on social media, told her he was a doctor and that he's studying at the University of the West Indies, which of course he was. You know, especially Jamaican man, he talk a good talk enough to convince her to make the journey to meet him in Montego Bay, where he picked her up a little after 7 p.m. at the Knutsford Express bus station. There is a video evidence of him picking her up at that time. They later went to have a drink, then ate at a restaurant where there was video evidence of them. By roughly after 12 midnight, she was gone, taken out. Well, that evidence was based on the autopsy report. His claim to fame is that he dropped her off where a friend would pick her up, which turned out to be a blatant lie, as there was evidence they were at the restaurant until almost midnight. It was later found out that they both went to a guest house in the area. And God alone knows what happened in that room. He ended up taking her life. And he also got help from the security guard of the guest house. Thing is, he is known in this area, so it's not hard for him to solicit help around the area. So of course him and the security guard disposed of her body at sea. That security guard already was charged and he confessed, and if I'm not mistaken, he has already been sentenced. But this Rushawn Patterson is from a family of money and influence, and they just can't seem to keep him behind bars. For the life of me, I don't know why. If I did believe in Obia, I would have said him have one special Obia man where make no matter what him do, him can't seem to get locked up and stay behind bars. Because the last I reported, it is said that he have some kind of sickness that is aggravated by being locked up. Sounds like anyone we know recently released from prison. I think these illnesses are manufactured or they get medication to induce it, make it seem as if they are really terribly sick, and if they stay in lockup, they are going to die. You know what I mean? I don't believe they are really that sick that they can't pay for the wrongs that they have done. So he was out on bail, and his case to go back to court would have been October. But check this out. all this time Rushawn was actively a criminal. There were statements from other women whom he lured to his house, and he even held one captive and abused her repeatedly. So much stories of women attacked and kidnapped from even the streets, going about their own businesses. Women who explained in court how they had to really put up a fight to escape with their life. And even after the biggest one of them all, social media influencer Slickiana, who was also a kept woman for a very influential international artist from Jamaica, she still got manipulated by this psychopath, as her body was found on the beach midday the next day after they met. He even had her phone, manipulating it by sending and receiving messages from it and to it. I guess he wanted, when the police investigate and follow the phone, they could see that she was texting him and he was texting her back, checking on her. But the thing that he forgot is that the investigation is going to show where both phones are, which really and truly he had the phones with him. So him lost in that one. For the life of me, I could never understand why they can't keep Rushawn in prison. Only to now further find out he was a member of a gang in Mobe, the Bloods gang, operating out of Salt Spring in Mobe. And this morning, the 25th of February 2025, Rushawn was taken out by the police in Dundee Pen in Hanover. It's alleged Rushawn was taken into custody on February the 2nd, 2025 with other gang members in relation to planned armed robberies and murders taking place in Mobe, Hanover, and other parishes. The police tried to arrest him this morning. He engaged them in a shootout and he never lived to tell the tale. So, even after Rushawn took out Slickiana in such a gruesome murder and all the evidence from other women who barely escaped from him, the authorities still never see that he was a psychopath. And even when they see his history, he did the same thing to another girl. He burst her throat, threw her away, things she had passed on, but she lived to tell the tales. He was arrested, but still beat the case. So the fact that he went after Slickiana and she lost her life at his hand, what more did they need to keep this psychopath man away from society? What? Right now, I'm wondering, since it is a trend that he has set in doing things like this, how many women have gone missing that we will never find? Because remember, he has been on bail, and a long one at that. Because he is not going back, or would have gone back to court October the 15th. Can you imagine what kind of destruction and atrocity he must have left behind? And if he was still alive, I'm quite sure there'll be many more before his court date, which is all the way in October. Slickiana was taken out in 2022, and we are now in 2025. I tell you, justice drawn out like this is not justice at all. Good riddance, and finally justice for all these women who suffered at his hands. Can you imagine the one he thought he unalive by putting a knife to her throat, then throw her away, expecting that she had died and she survived, to get him arrested, went to court, his rich family paid big lawyers, and he got off the case. Well, let us see money and big lawyer now put breath back into this body. Justice at last for Slickiana and all the women who we may never recover, and all the ones that are still suffering from the trauma of their experience with him. Justice, finally. Anyway, guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.